Okay, so like I said, trying to do this daily or every other day. Got a 12 game slate that happened yesterday on opening night of the NBA. Let's hop right into it. First game of the night, Pistons Magic. Now, this is a game where a true NBA fan's gotta love. You're seeing two small market teams with young talent really going at each other. And to talk about the Pistons a little bit, in the Magic, you could see this potentially being a playoff series maybe in like 3, 4 years. They've had the talent to do it. All right, hopping into it. Paolo Banchero giving you 27, 9, and 5 in his first game. The immediate impact is there. He's doing it fluidly. He's giving you buckets off step backs. He's giving you buckets off of second chance points. He's even stealing the ball and going down the court on fast break, looking like a 6'7" small forward rather than a 6'10" power forward, damn near center type of build. I told you guys when we saw them, my co-host Cam, Aaron, and I, we were there for that FSU versus Duke game. The TV doesn't do it justice. It truly doesn't. The guy's a monster. And then when you have people like Franz and Suggs knowing their role from day one, from game one, it looked like people knew Paolo's the number one option. But when you have those guys like Franz and Suggs who can both go for 20 on certain nights like these, and you got a good team, you got a solid team, and then it's just filling in and plugging in those other spots that need to be filled in. So I really like what the Magic are doing right now. But let's move on to the Pistons. Same thing with the young talent. Jaden Ivey giving you 19, 4, and 3. Jalen Duren, your youngest player as a Piston, to give you a double double. You gotta love this. And if you're Cade, you gotta love it even more because first quarter, I saw Cade go to the basket, penetrates, gets caught under the basket in no man's land, and who makes a perfect cut to the basket? It's Jaden Ivey. And I think that having that slasher for Cade is gonna pay off big, big dividends for him later on in the future. And then Jalen Duren, the Pistons wanted to go after DeAndre Ayton in the offseason closer to the draft. And you know what? Good shit. Good thing you didn't. Because Jalen Duren looks like he can maybe come into that spot, into that role, and kind of do the same things at a very, very cheaper price. I love the mentality that he has. I love the motor that he has very early on. Cade Floyd General, 10 assists tonight. You gotta love it. And I think it's gonna be a consistent thing with all these young pieces that he has around him. Next game, Rockets Hawks. I don't want to talk about the Rockets too much. We saw some of the young talent go off, but let's talk about the Hawks a little more because Deontay Murray, first game, giving you 20, 11, 5, and 5. And we know he's good at defense. We know he is very good on ball. So the 5 steals doesn't surprise me. The 5 assists is what I absolutely love because you're seeing that when Trae Young goes to the floor, the Hawks are just saying, you know what? Deontay Murray, you're getting the ball handling duties. Now you're taking up the court. You're the floor general. You're executing the P&Rs. You're doing or calling out plays. I absolutely love that. And then when Trae comes back in, Deontay can kind of slide back into that off-ball role, focus on defense a little more, get out in transition. The Hawks' first game, I know it's against the Rockets, but the way they played was impressive. I'm high on the Hawks after that Rockets win. All right, next game, Pelicans Nets. Now, before the night, you would have probably said this is the game of the night, but it wasn't. Actually, the exact opposite. Probably the biggest blowout of the night. Not Deontay, excuse me. Pelicans Nets. I said on the last episode, which I will put right here. I put on the last episode, I said, don't bet game result for this game. Don't do game result. Instead, do player props because you don't know how it's going to go. And guess what? I was right. You didn't know if the Nets were going to win. You didn't know if the Pelicans were going to win. You didn't know if it was going to be a close game or a blowout. Turns out Pelicans go in a landslide. Absolutely love that. Zion, BI, CJ all going for 20 plus. That's great. That's good. All that's cool. But what I love about that is the glue guy, Herb Jones, allowing them to be able to focus on the offensive side of the ball because he's saying, you know what? Y'all don't worry about it. BI, don't worry about it. CJ, I'll cover your mistakes. Zion, I got y'all. I'm taking KD this game. I'm checking KD. I don't care if he still goes for 25. He's going to have to work for all those 25. I think that was absolutely huge for the Pelicans in that one. The Nets, we'll get into them later on in the season, maybe the next game that they play. But for right now, I want to focus on the Pelicans. Great win by them. Great statement win by them. And if you're Zion, all that free agency talk, all that maybe you want to go somewhere else. You signed the extension. This team is loaded. I don't think that team's going anywhere for the next couple of years. All right, Thunder Timberwolves. This one's going to be very, very quick. The T-Wolves, like we said, Rudy Gobert, regular season monster. They might start out 10-4 because he's giving you 23 and 14. Anything around the basket's a dunk. Anything going into the basket is a block or a pass out. He's very good on both sides of the ball, but we've seen before time and time again in the playoffs how teams can scheme for them. So don't get too high on them now because inevitably those ESPN segments are going to come out saying Timberwolves championship contender or not, and then Kendrick Perkins is going to go on his whole spiel. Excuse me. All right, last one I want to talk about: Mavs Suns. First half of this game, I'm disappointed. I'm saying, you know what, Phoenix, just pack up the franchise at this point because they still have you on a dog leash. The Suns fans walked into that game. Next thing you know, they got PTSD. They got war flashbacks from what happened in that game 7. I'm telling you guys, the resiliency that I saw at the half, at the third quarter, I don't know what was said in that half, but you saw Booker and Ayton um really surge, really kind of get their game going. And the way they did it was because they started playing their game. Booker's going downhill, attacking downhill, getting to his nail spots, getting to those pull-up curl, pull-up middies, really being aggressive and making sure that it doesn't matter if the defense is doubling, pass out, give it right back. I'm going to attack. I like that. And then Damian Lee, how about it? First game as a Sun, just want to chip in Golden State, come over, debut, go ahead, late game winner against Luka and the team that eliminated them. Great way to start the NBA season. We got 2 games going on tonight: Bucks 76ers, Lakers Clippers. I'll tell you this right now: I'm fading the Lakers. We'll see y'all next time. I have no clue what's gonna happen, but after that, Lonnie Walker starting at the 3. You lost me. You lost me. Peace.